Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. And yeah, I just was having some issues with my capture card. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I think it looks good. I'm getting a feed and I can see it on YouTube. So yeah, I see already a comment of people joining from India. Hey Rahul. And yeah, so just like last week, we did a Q&A for cloud, career, and DevOps, or any other questions you might have for me. I was planning on doing it every Tuesday, I said, because I've been doing this for the last, I think, 3 weeks now. And that's why we are here for another Tuesday. But yeah, I'll probably start doing this weekly. And so I already see Ravi. Hey, Ravi, from India. Awesome. Um, Someone is from Nigeria. Oh, they were in the last chat too. Hey, I am not pronouncing your name because I don't want to, butcher it. So, but hey, thanks for tuning in to the stream. Her Simran, hi Deep. Her Simran says, can we talk about other IT fields as well? For sure, yeah. We can talk about. Of course, I'll have a limited knowledge depending on what industry you're talking about or what field in specific you're talking about, but I'll try to answer. Okay, so I also see the chat working today, I guess. Let me know if you can see that too. And by yes, there we go. I can see it on my YouTube screen too now. Awesome. Chetan says, hello. Hey, Chetan. Mani, hey, can you please check your email? Okay, I'll check my email. Ravi says, bro, I have a question. Are you Indian? Yes, I am Indian. I am from Punjab, city called Hoshiarpur. Yeah, so that's where I am from originally, back in India. Awesome. Okay, I guess we have our first question here. Raul says, after learning Linux, networking, and AWS, what should I go for next to get into DevOps? Should it be CI/CD or Terraform or anything else? The first thing I would say is go for version control if that's something you're not familiar with. So version control is, making using a central location to store your code, and then you can do versioning on it. And there's a whole lot more to version control system than that, but just giving you a brief introduction to it if you're not familiar with it. If you are already, yes, I would say CI/CD is a great way to start, and then I would say move on to infrastructure as code. And it doesn't matter, you can go either way, but I would say version control first and then CI/CD or Terraform. It totally depends on you. And that reminds me on that there are some updates that are coming to the DevOps guide. So for people who don't know what the DevOps guide is, it's something that I'm building, free open source kind of guide to help you gain DevOps skills, right? Things that you have to focus on, right? So right now it's a lot theoretical, and what I'm trying to do is make it more project based. So I'll introduce a project, and then we will try to tackle it through each phase. So let's say CI/CD. So we'll figure out a CI/CD pipeline for our project. Make sure our project is in the version control system, right? And then also make sure the deployment of the entire infrastructure is being done through an IAC tool like Terraform or Bicep, CloudFormation, right? And then we'll also move to configuration management, also containerization. So we'll build this project where we have a version of it that is containerized. So it's Dockerized, and you can deploy it to uh, the any of the managed services too, like Fargate, or I know there is Elastic Container services both for Azure, GCP, or AWS, and then also some other providers like Civo. So yeah, and then we'll also move towards monitoring and observability towards end. So talking about things that matter for our project, what metrics should we measure, right? Depending on. So I'm trying to pick a project, and then we'll start diving into each kind of principle, and then implement it to our project. But yeah, if you haven't check out the DevOps guide. Um, and yeah, I have some improvements planned for next year. Okay, so let me go back to the other screen and then go through the questions. Hey, Chetan is joining from Ottawa. Awesome. How's the weather in Ottawa? It's pretty chilly here in Kitchener. Hi, Parth. Please one video for how to switch from full stack to cloud computing. I think it should be easy. It should be easy because I wasn't a developer, right? And I had to learn some programming fundamentals, and I picked a language. For me, it was Python, right? So I had to upskill myself with programming skills. And since you already have those fundamentals, and also like you're a full stack developer, so you have a lot more understanding of some basics. So it should be easy to pivot into cloud. But yeah, I'll see if I can, if it needs a dedicated video. But my workflow would be learning. You might also already have few skills when it comes to Linux and networking. So start there and then move to a cloud provider, AWS, Azure, GCP, whichever you know you are interested in or is more popular in your area, and then start there. Like start with the basics of the cloud provider and then move on, or progress forward. Oh, I just realized we hit 9K subscribers just like few minutes ago, because when I was planning the stream, I saw we were at 8,900 something. So that's really good. My goal for this year was to hit 10K subscribers. So if you're in the stream and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. That's the best way to support, this channel and me, and help me reach my goal of 10K subscribers by the end of 2022. But yeah, that's my advice for moving from full stack to cloud. Okay, moving on to the next one. Akash says, I'm a mechanical engineer currently working in Wipro as a tester, but I have a doubt, like, can I do PG diploma in computer science? I'm eligible for that course, or mechanical engineer is enough? I don't know what you mean by mechanical engineer is enough. Like, do you mean if you want to skip PG diploma? Is that what you're trying to say? Um, and please, for the education advice, don't come to me. Like, I'm still confused if I should do my bachelor's or not. So yeah, I would say there are people that are well versed with if you should come here for masters or PG diplomas. But I think it should be possible, since you're still an engineer. So you would have to check with the institute, or the college or the university. But I don't think it should be an issue for you getting into a PG diploma in computer science. But yes, Chetan says, have you tried Hack the Box? Yeah, I believe I did. Let's look at it. I think I did. Hack the Box. Yep, I've tried them. They're pretty good for learning cybersecurity um, skills. Um, yeah, I have tried a few, and I think that was like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. Somebody at my company told me about it because they were trying to get into like ethical hacking and cybersecurity rules. So that's how I know about it. But yeah, um, I've I think I've done like two or three kind of challenges, maybe, or not challenges, like modules. I think they're called modules, maybe. Um, Ravi says, "Congrats, congrats, thank you." Um, Her Simran says, "I'm doing game programming course at Centennial College. I've done BTech in CSE from India, but don't have any industry experience. I'm learning mean stack, Java and mobile dev in course. I'm getting an opportunity of $500 internship in India, but won't be able to work part time in Canada." Uh, okay. I don't. Yeah, that's so. Oh, there is the question. It was way down. My question is, the remote experience from India worth it in the long run if I don't work part time odd jobs? I would say if like your part time job is not something that you want to do and is making you miserable, and because I could see that happening, then definitely go for the internship, because you'll be doing things you love. I'm guessing you love programming and whatever this internship is, and in the end it'll help you land skills, and your resume would also look better because now you have done an internship, right? And also look for opportunities within North America, right? So since you already have your bachelor's, like build some projects and start looking for internships in North America. The only reason I say that is you and I well know that there will be way more, um, the salary, or you will be paid way more comparison to the remote internship that you're getting in India, right? So keep that as a backup option. And if you really hate what you're doing as a part time job, yeah, I would go for the internship. It also depends on the financial situation, right? Um, like as an international student, we know that there's rent, there's tuition, there's living expenses and stuff. Um, so yeah, if you're in a better situation, then me, I'm just comparing it to my, like, I'm trying to think of the phase when I was, you know, a student here in Canada. Yeah, I would say go for the internship. There's nothing. I think it'll be better for you. But yeah, do also look for opportunities in North America. Okay. Jagat says, how to get an internship. I think I did. So I'm not so active on TikTok, but I think a month or 2 months ago I did share a lot of opportunities for people who were just starting out in IT. So they were beginner, or for they were beginner friendly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So not a lot of experience needed, but just to compete, make sure you have some projects to talk about. And I also shared some apprenticeship programs from companies like Google, Accenture. I can't remember, but yeah. Um, if you have the time, go look at my TikTok and like scroll down. There are some opportunities that I shared. Um, but I usually look on just Google internships in Canada, wherever you are, right? And then also Google on Indeed, or sorry, search on Indeed, right? That's what I used, or I still use to this day. Whenever if I'm looking for someone for a job. Risha says, "Hey bro, oh you joined a bit late. No worries. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?" Kiranjit Singh says, "I have done my education in computer engineering technician. You know, how can I get or crack job in that, or what should I do for a startup?" Okay. I don't think I understand the question clearly, but yeah, you can get a job. And how do you crack that is you make sure your resume is up to date and you have listed the skills that are needed for that specific job. One thing I would recommend, and I've seen people doing a lot, is they create one resume that is up to date, that's fine, and then they apply to like multiple roles with the same resume. And then they complain that they cannot, land interviews. The reason is you have to, you know, update your resume according to the each job posting because each one of them might require different skills. For example, if you're applying for a cloud engineer and then there is one role that says, they use AWS and the other role says they use Azure, you have to, you know, mention that mention those keywords in your resume. So for applying for job A, which mentions AWS, I would focus on the services that I'm familiar with within AWS. Same thing for the other job for Azure. So yeah, update your resume and align it to the job posting before applying. Okay. I'm gonna switch to a different screen. And yeah, keep the questions coming. I'm trying to get through them. Okay, I already answered that. So Ravi says, "I have to take your opinion that I'm currently pursuing diploma in computer science engineering, and I want to know that what will I do after completing my diploma to become a cloud engineer? Suggest." Again, my advice is it's gonna be the same. Develop projects, work on projects, get hands on, and if cloud is something, look at one or two certifications to keep you accountable, but also stand out from the others. Don't do anything more than two certifications. So pick a cloud, whether it be AWS or Azure, and then do for AWS example is do cloud practitioner and solutions architect maybe, and then build a project as you are working towards your solutions architect. A great project to build is Cloud Resume Challenge, right? And for anything else, if you're not sure, like if you feel lost when you're doing Cloud Practitioner, maybe you want to, go back and learn some Linux and networking fundamentals before you dive into the cloud. So go check out learntocloud.guide. Everything is listed there on skills needed. And also don't keep it a hard rule that you'll only apply to cloud engineering roles. There are other roles in cloud that are easier to get in the beginning when you have no experience. So cloud support is a great role, I think, which you can get in the beginning. When he says you have really deep voice, you can try podcasts that get you classical audience from other niches too, or maybe try vlogging. Sorry for being off topic. I've tried podcasts, not tried, I've done podcasts. And for people who are not aware, great advice on those podcasts too. Um, I'm not sure how many of you are aware. So if you YouTube um, Learn to Cloud, I did a podcast with Gwen. I think it has like 10 episodes. Yeah, there we go. So this is part of Learn to Cloud guide, right? The guide that I was saying, which is open source, free for you to land jobs in cloud. And we have 10 episodes that I did for with Gwen. So yeah, go check it out. And yeah, think so. That's one podcast. I have one on my own channel, or you can also look it up on Spotify, I think. Um, uh, yeah, I can. I guess I can open my channel from here. Um, Playlist Tech Careers. So I did, and look at my hairs. Oh my God, this video is 2 years old. But yeah, I have 4 episodes, and maybe in the future I'll do like a second series of this podcast. But yeah, basically I talk to different folks who are working in tech on how they started their career in tech. So you have a lot of different people on this podcast, and just how they started their careers. So I think they have some great advice in these. But yeah, coming back to you, Maneet, yeah, I've done some podcasts. I'm not doing one currently, but yeah. Rahul says, tell us about the AWS Community Builder program, what it is, and how to apply and get selected. I'm going to do a dedicated video on, because I saw all of your comments on my post of becoming the AWS Community Builder for the third year. So I'm going to do a dedicated video on, what are the benefits and how do you get in, what are some things that they look at. But yeah, so watch out for that. But yeah, basically, the few benefits I love is having access to the AWS product teams. Of course, we have to sign an NDA and we can't disclose stuff to the public before it's been released. And the second thing is the $500 credit. So I get a $500 credit for the year to use towards AWS, my AWS account, so I can test out services and stuff, right? And then you also get a free certification voucher for any of the AWS exams. So those are a few benefits that I love about the community builders. I completed BSc Computer Science. I'm noob at coding, zero interest. Can you suggest me any course? If you say zero interest, it doesn't mean like you have no interest in coding. If that's the case, I would try other, roles. So you don't have to be a developer to work in tech. And since you have already done, BSc Computer Science, you already are familiar with some of the fundamentals of operating systems and programming. So I would say try learning cloud and see if cloud is something that interests you. There are more roles in IT. You can be I've talked to a few people who are working towards UX UI engineers, and it's just a lot more creative, but you still are in tech. You can be project or product managers. So yeah, do your research, try things out, and see if cloud, IT, or project management is something that interests you. I won't dive into coding if you have zero interest in it, because then it's just you're torturing yourself. Satyam says, by the way, I'm an upcoming CS major student at a university in Canada, so looking forward to learn from your journey. Awesome, Satyam. Good luck on your journey, and let me know if you're coming to Ontario. Let me know. We should definitely. I'm planning to do more meetups in person. Deep Roop says, how to look for opportunities outside India, remote internships. So there are a few sites that I go to. I think one is remote. Okay. No. Remote jobs. There is one site, I forgot what it is called. Remote Co? No. Yeah, one is We Work Remotely. So go check it out. And they also list, so here you can see America's only, Europe only. But here, the next role, you can see it's anywhere in the world. So I think that kind of filtration really helps me to see, okay, this is actually like globally remote roles. Whereas on other platforms, what I have found is like on Indeed or LinkedIn, they would say remote, and then you are, talking to recruiter or hiring team, and then they say, oh, this is US only job, and it's just a waste of time. Like you could have mentioned that on the job posting, and that's why I love we work remotely. I think it's called remote. Okay, let's see. Oh, the stream is working fine, but for some reason, remote okay is not okay. There we go. So yeah, remote okay and we work remotely are great sites to look for remote roles and also internships. I believe they post. Sometimes they also post like um, junior or entry level roles. So yeah, check that out. Harsimran says, thank you. Had a similar gut feeling regarding the internship at part time. As for internships in Canada, I will look more here as well. But so far, was only able to find unpaid internships. Yeah, that's the thing. So here we have a co op program. And I know with the universities, you get paid. But when I did my co op for 2 months, basically it's an internship, I had to do it for free too. So for 2 months, I worked for free, but I did get a return offer, and that's how all my tech career journey started. So I'm really thankful for that opportunity. But yeah, and it also took a hit on my part-time work because I was working 4 days a week at my co-op for free, and then I would work 3 days at my part-time job. Satyam says, and sorry, the video I just recorded and it's Hindi would update it low. Um, hmm. I'm not sure which video you're talking about. Is it a video of me? Yeah, because I think I did 2 or 3 videos in Hindi. Nishant says, did you pass out from any IITs? No. I was talking in the stream earlier. I don't have a bachelor's degree. I came here after my 12th, or came to Canada after doing my high school, and then I did a diploma here. Chetan says, wanted to know from your experience, if someone is starting to learn how to code, where to start from? I know there are many resources, YouTube, Free Code Camp, Code Academy. How did you start it? So for me, it was YouTube and Free Code Camp. From Free Code Camp, I learned a bit about front-end development. So just the basics, HTML and JavaScript. They have a responsive web design curriculum, and that's what I did for learning JavaScript. For Python, on the other hand, I learned it from actually doing it. So I would watch or read documentation on maybe creating a script, and this was for work. So we were creating scripts in Python, and I would just figure out functions and stuff by googling and watching videos. I didn't took a course for Python, but yeah, YouTube. I've heard Code Academy is also good, but I think the most you'll learn is by doing something. So let's say you have an idea of building a website for yourself. Start doing it, and then start googling when you get stuck. You learn the most. Um, okay. So Kiranjit says, I've done networking like Cisco, A plus. So with these courses, what sort of jobs are available in the market? Can I go learn AWS Cloud for a better job, or is it okay to go with Cisco or A plus networking? Yeah, you can get entry level depending on if you have prior experience. But if you don't, you can get entry level networking jobs or IT admin jobs, or sysadmin jobs with the certifications that you already have. Uh, Being said that, if cloud is something you want to work in, you can always move forward with cloud. So let's say you get a job as IT admin today. So that's a good thing because you have already entered tech, and you start working And while you're working, you also build skills that'll help you move to cloud. Because having experience as sysadmin or IT admin will help you a lot in cloud too. So that's my suggestion. And for networking jobs, you're already good because of those two certifications. So I think you have a good start. Um, and I think now the decision is just based on what you want to do right now. Is do you want to get a job in tech, or do you want to get a job in tech in cloud specifically? If cloud is something you want to start with, then yes, you would have to at least learn, AWS. Don't Even if you don't see the certifications, learn AWS, build a project, and then so that you can showcase that on your resume. Ravi says, bro, from where you learned English and communication skills, and thanks for the answer for previous question. So for English, uh, my dad used to. He was a huge fan of Hollywood and like the influence he had on, um, or he still has on me and my brother is, that's how we were introduced to Hollywood back in India. Um, and I think we were still like really young, but he would show us like animated movies, by Disney in English, and then other movies too. And I think that helped a lot with my communication, like my English. For the communication skills, that's something I had to develop after coming to Canada because, it's a different thing of understanding and speaking English every now and then compared to communicating with people you work and people you live with every day. So there was a learning curve, but I think practice and um, making sure. So I was aware that communication skills are something that I lack and I need to develop. So I work towards that. Read read some books too. So I would say, reading and writing helps you a lot. So for anything in life, practice will make you better. So for me, I wrote, I think, 36 blogs in 2020, and that was part of for me to, get better at writing technical stuff and communicating it well to the audience. So yeah, those are a few things that helped me. Ajite says, freshers into cloud, can it happen from India? Yes, anything can happen. um, just don't feel like if it's not been done, it's not possible. Anything is possible, and if you build the right skills, if you have the right skill set, even as a fresher, you could land, a role, and not just um, in India. Like you can land remote opportunities. So yeah, Satyam, can you please check my previous comment as well? What did I miss? I only see the one that you said, upcoming CS major student at a university in Canada. So looking forward to learn from your journey. Did you post anything prior to that? Is the question. Nope. Yeah, yeah. So that's the comment I see, and then you said something about the videos in Hindi, which I didn't get. So you said, and sorry, the video I just recorded and it's in Hindi, would update it low. Um, okay. Arunava says, best resources to learn shell scripts, and thanks for the content. It's really helpful. Um, yeah, I don't know for resources. I know there are, if you like search on YouTube, you'll find um, great, resources. But I do know something that's coming. So um, Gwen, my friend who works at Microsoft as a cloud advocate, is working on Bash course. So look out for that. And I think Microsoft is like kind of helping or partnering on that. So yeah, look out for that. It'll be, I think, a great course, great resource. But yeah, so Traversy, I've seen his few videos in the past, so I think you should be good with that. It says beginner level. So yeah, you should be good to start with this resource. But yeah, something is coming that I do know because I know Gwen and I know her work ethic. That'll be great. Satyam says Angel is also a great one. Oh, yes. Angel dot, I don't know what it's called, but they recently had a name change, right? Or did you mean you're talking about the remote jobs, right, Satyam? Yeah, so AngelList is now well found. They had a rebranding, and yeah, they are also great. Their newsletter is also great if you're really into startups and um, early stage companies. So yeah, go check it out. They're known, well found now. Satyam says, I was trying to share a project link that I created last weekend, but YouTube deletes your comment, which has a link now. Oh yeah, I think I have turned it on because of spam and also scams. People post links and then few of my audience, if they click on it, you never know. So that's why links are disabled in the chat. But anyways, did you ever encounter imposter syndrome? How do you? Oh, every year. There's a season for me for imposter syndrome. I'm glad we are talking about it. So, yeah, imposter syndrome is one of those things, and it usually happens when I'm kind of burnt out, and then like my productivity goes down, and then I feel like I'm at the wrong place. Like I shouldn't be where I am because I don't have the skills or the you know knowledge to work and deliver results for my job. And then I just go down this rabbit hole of what if I'm just faking it, and fake it till you make it. But yeah, it's hard. But one of the things my senior engineers are like, it was kind of a mentor at ECI that I looked up to, told me that everyone goes through that, even him. So I'm like, oh, that's you know good to know. Like that makes me feel better. But he said, look at the past, see what you have. Even if small wins, like look at last week. What were some of the small wins? And just keep moving forward and look at how far have you come. And also take breaks. Like don't burn yourself out. Like I usually have the worst like imposter syndrome when I'm burnt out, as I said. So I make sure I take breaks. I make sure I disconnect from tech, and yeah, that helps me. But yeah, I do have imposter syndrome every now and then, and that's the way I deal with it. The other thing is I did a podcast in Hindi. I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, with another creator in the Canadian or the Indian space, like Indo-Canadian space. His name is Akshit, and we were planning to do that podcast for like maybe 15 minutes, and that ended up being a 40-minute episode. And I think that was great for me because I reflected on a lot of things that I have never done, right? So, like, I have never sat down and looked back at my journey from international student to being, um, a developer evangelist at Twilio, having been worked at Google just with a diploma. So those were some things that were told to me that were impossible to do. And just looking back and talking about it for like 40 minutes on that podcast, it made me realize like, yeah, I'm not faking it. Like, I've put in the hard work. I've gained some skills, and that's the reason. I deserve this. So yeah, that's how I deal with it. But yeah. Okay. Chakri Karnam says, "Will we get a job as a fresher in cloud?" Yes, someone else asked this in earlier, and I said yes. Anything is possible. You just have to develop right skill set, and also make sure you stand out when the company is looking at other candidates. So have projects that you can talk about. Satyam says, "Yeah, got it, lol." Yeah, so that's why links are disabled. Ravi says, "Your diploma certificate is from India or from where?" Oh, my diploma is from Canada. It's a 2-year diploma in computer science or computer networking and technical support. Akam says, "A person with zero coding knowledge can be a cloud professional. If yes, then what profiles are there?" Yes. So if you start in cloud support, I think, you can work in that role without having like really less knowledge about coding, or you're not a developer. I'm not a developer, and I know a bit about scripting, and that's how I have been building the projects that I build. It's like, if you show my code to any of the like good software engineers, they'll say I'm not following best practices on writing classes, functions, stuff like that, because I don't know that. And that's also the reason why I don't call myself a software engineer or a software developer. But yes, you can land roles. Cloud support is a great one to start with. If not, there are many roles in cloud now, so you can do cloud sales. You kind of can do also cloud admin, but you'll need some scripting knowledge. You know, you should be comfortable writing scripts. But yeah, those are some roles to look at. Ravikant says, "You look like AP." So for people who don't know, AP is I'm guessing everyone in the chat was, but if still someone doesn't know, AP is a musician. He's been doing great. He's trying. The reason why I love him as an artist is because he tries different things that, Punjabi artists haven't tried yet. And that sets him apart. And that's why he's successful so far. So he's doing pretty good. His new EP is, I've been listening to it back to back. He's like in that weekend phase, right? Um, Amit says, "Hello, good evening from India." Hey, Amit. Harsimranjit Singh says, "Yeah, got to know about you from Akshit's podcast. Really great talk." Thank you, Harsimran. And thank you for joining it and tuning into the stream. I'm planning to do something more with Akshit. It's just that I'm going to Vegas this Friday. Oh, I forgot to share. I'm going to Vegas this Friday to my first reInvent. So AWS's biggest conference is happening in Vegas. It happens every year, I think. Due to COVID, it didn't, but like it has been happening over the years. And it's been my dream since 2018-19 to go at reInvent, and now I'm finally going to AWS reInvent. But yeah, I have something in plan with Akshit to do, and it'll be more towards the immigration side of things, because people are interested in knowing about that too. Chakri says, "Thank you for your reply." No worries. That's why these streams are for. And yep. Tushar says, "My interest in IT related field because my low grade in +2, I took general arts science. After working on IT skills and projects, can I enter into IT field jobs?" Yes. I've seen people without any education, like without, college education, landing jobs in big tech companies. So anything is possible. You just have to build the right skills and projects and, good resume, and you can definitely enter IT. I'm actively learning AWS. I have my CCP, preparing for SAA. How do I increase my chances for getting an entry level role? I'm documenting on LinkedIn and also building my repo. Yeah, I think you're already in good like workflow with, posting about your learnings on LinkedIn and also updating your repo. Um, Hands-on inclusive, that's awesome. I'm not sure if you with repo you said, I don't know if with repo you meant cloud resume challenge or any other projects that you're building. But yeah, I think that's really good. And just work on your interviewing skills too, like do mock interviews with someone at home, look at the most asked questions for a cloud role, right? So prepare well. um, Research the company that you apply to, right? Know about them, what they do, so that when you do get a call with the recruiter, you kind of know, like, they feel that you have done your research. So those are some tips. Apart from, you already are doing really good. Just says, just joined. Hope you're doing well today. Hey Yash, yep, everything's good. Just answering some cloud and career questions. And if we are almost at 50 minutes, we hit 9K subscribers live on the stream as I was talking. And if everybody can like the stream, that would be awesome. Best way to support the channel. As I said, I'm not selling you any course or anything. That's the only thing I ask for. Chetan says, do you have a Discord group, brother? Yeah, so I have my social links in the description of this video or the stream. So you can connect to me via Twitter, Insta, even GitHub. I'm quite active on GitHub now. Discord, I'm planning to build one for the DevOps guide, but most of my time is going towards, improvising and including a project on the DevOps guide. So once that's done, yes, there will be a Discord for the DevOps guide, and we can definitely connect and share resources and stuff. But yeah, it's in the plans. I even think it's on the website. Sorry, I'm doing something in my browser, so it's better I show. So the DevOps guide, if you look on the side, there's a Easter egg saying Discord coming soon. But yeah, it'll be there will be something where we can all, kind of connect and share resources. Oh, Harsimran, you live in Toronto. Where can I find IT meetups? Here's one I can send you. Harsimran, reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll send you one that I'm planning to do in December. So we are having a super class in December in Toronto for Twilio. So, I'll be demoing some Python code. It'll be a fun evening with food and stuff. So yeah, definitely come hang out. And for others, like for other meetups, I use meetup.com. That's how I find it. And I'm often at a Microsoft Reactor for, talking about Azure stuff. So we do have meetups at the Microsoft Reactor sometimes in Toronto. That group is also available on meetup.com. So join those groups and you'll be notified every time there's a meetup. Yeah, I don't have the link handy right now, but yeah, reach out to me on Instagram and then or Twitter. I'll send you the link for the Twilio one that's happening in December. Okay. So, what else? Oh, I don't know if everyone in the chat kind of saw my project that I built over the weekend. But basically, oops. Let me open it up and then I'll talk. Okay. So basically, it summarizes a text from an image you send as an SMS, and then it uses AI and sends back an audio file of that summary, and then you can listen to it. So it's really good. So if I had a book or a novel, if I click a picture of that page, it summarizes that page into like a paragraph, And then, so that project was built by Anthony, who's also a developer evangelist at Twilio. And you get back a summary, so a paragraph summary of that page, which is good. But it took a bit further, and now it sends you back the audio recording that you can listen to. So if I forget my glasses or anything, I can take a picture of a text file, and it'll send me back an audio recording. And I think it's a great like a weekend project. It uses GCP and OpenAI, so it uses GCP Cloud Vision API and Text to Speech API and OpenAI and also Twilio. So if someone is interested, I'll make the README better. But if someone is interested, can look at that. Let me see if I can run it live right now. Should have open. Okay, so you should be seeing my code editor. Wait, I'll zoom in a little bit. And virtual environment is ready. So if I do python app.py. Okay, so we got the Flask running. What I need is ngrok. So ngrok http 8080. So that will give me a URL. Awesome. And if I go to my Twilio console here real quick. I don't know why my browser is so slow today. Like I did a speed test and it was like everything is fine. It's not like my internet is not working or something, but some sites are slow today for me. So phone numbers, manage active numbers. Let's go with 289. Sure, let's go with 289 number here. And for someone who's just joining in, I'm trying to showcase my project that I built over the weekend. Okay, so we are good. So now the number is this. So 289 206 7098. So if you send a picture of text, make sure it's text based, something that contains text. So I got my novel here, right? It's Simon Sinek's Start With Why. And I'll take a picture of this page, right? So I took a picture. As you can see, I don't know if the focus will change. I'm going to send it to the number that I just told you. So 289-206-7098. And we'll wait. So I just send it. We'll see if it works or if I've broken something. Okay. So you can see I received back not only a text summary right here, but also an audio file. So if I play that.
The book is for those who want to inspire others or be inspired by someone.
There you go. So it summarized the entire page into like a one sentence and then send you back the audio recording. Simran says, I followed you Insta, also texted, but it shows the account can't receive your message because they don't allow new message requests from everyone. Yeah, so try it now. The reason was, my Flask server was shut down. But yeah, try it now. It should work. I saw a few people try it because I can, see through the logs and stuff. And yeah, that was cool. Pratik says, "Sir, I have completed my class 12th and I'm nearly 5 months free as I'm coming to Canada in May 2023. Is it possible to learn in that time?" Yeah, 5 months is really 5 months to yourself is really good head start you can get before coming to Canada. So yeah, um, I see you also said DevOps and AWS. Yes, um, if you're already familiar with Linux or networking, that's good. If you're not, start with Linux fundamentals and networking, and then move to a cloud provider like AWS, right? And then start learning that cloud provider, and you should be good or way advanced than when you once you come here for your diploma. That's awesome. Yeah, it worked now. Awesome. Okay. So I also see that the questions have slowed down now, which is good. Um, and I also think it'll be nice to end the stream now. We have almost been so I've been live for an hour. There were some great questions, and I hope they got answered. I think I answered all of them. But yeah, now that the questions are answered, I think it's the perfect time to end the stream. And also, we have hit that 1 hour mark. But yeah, it was fun, and I really hope I can keep doing these every Tuesday. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and you know we'll have these weekly. I will try to do them weekly, every Tuesday, live streams where I'll answer your cloud, career, DevOps related questions, and hopefully they'll help you. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. It was great. Thank you for hanging out, and I'll see you on another video or next week.